And joining me now, Mike Davis, president of the Article 3 Project, former clerk for Justice Gorsuch. Mike, now this is not a federal judge. Immigration judges are separate from the federal court system. And his lawyers late today said, it's not the end of the road. We're going to file in federal court in New Jersey. Well, how do you think this is going to go on the federal level after this immigration judge ruled as she did today?
Well, President Trump campaigned on the fact he's going to secure our border and he's going to deport illegal immigrants, particularly those who support Hamas. And that's exactly what President Trump is doing here. Not only does he have that power, that duty under our immigration statutes that have been on the books for 70+ years, he also has that duty as commander-in-chief to make sure we do not have these dangerous individuals in our country.
Well, ACLU's executive director today, before this ruling came out, said this is a clear attack on the First Amendment. Mr. Khalil is a permanent resident. He's not an illegal immigrant. He's married to an American citizen, is about to have a baby. And this clearly is just punishing speech that is unpopular. Your response to that?
Well, you can actually denaturalize American citizens who are naturalized if they are Hamas supporters up to 10 years after they were naturalized. So if you can do that to naturalized citizens, you can certainly get rid of these residents.
Now, Mike, the White House published a report yesterday about the benefits that illegals who were on the terror watch list received under the Biden administration, and it's staggering. The list includes 902 of them that collected Medicaid, 41 of them collected unemployment insurance, 22 received federal student loans, oh my gosh, and 409 received tax refunds. Democrats, of course, don't seem to care about this issue at all, but I imagine the American voters are going to be interested to learn more about how people on terror lists end up getting federal benefits.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? If you're a flood victim in America, the Biden administration left you with nothing. But if you are on a terror watch list, you're getting these federal benefits. How is this not harboring illegal aliens, which is a federal crime?
Mike, there was an immigration setback for Trump yesterday with that Obama-appointed federal judge who blocked the administration from expediting the deportation of about 500,000 people who Biden had paroled into the country, like 500,000, like Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, Cubans, Haitians. And Trump's like, no, we're gonna cut that short. And a judge said, you don't have the authority to do that? Mike, on what grounds does the president not have that authority?
It's a very good question, because President Biden illegally mass paroled these several 100,000 illegal immigrants, and President Trump is just reversing that illegal act by President Biden. And you have this activist judge trying to stop the president. The president has the statutory and constitutional power and duty to make sure that our border is secure and people who do not belong here are not in our country.
All right, Mike, thank you very much.